Listen, your savings account is robbing you, but don't worry. I found out a way how to make my money in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same. Now, this isn't no get rich quick. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't something just trust situation. This is legit, and this is legit. This is something the average day person can implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short term. It's a long term. There's a promo going on right now. So you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up, because this is too valuable. The link is in the description. Let's get our money up. Let's get back to the video.
What's good? What's popping with you? Welcome to another show, one of the dopest shows on YouTube, where we talk about everything under the sun, as long as we get back to the money, real conversations, and real solutions. I'm your host, Courtney Edgar. What's good with you? How y'all feeling, man? I'm feeling phenomenal. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope y'all day has been great. Mine has been great. But we got a lot of topics to cover tonight. We got some good ones, actually. We got some really freaking good ones. But before we get there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure you hit the bell notification. And make sure you share this live too. Listen, we trying to run these numbers up over here. We got some goals we got to hit for 2026. And subscriber count, listen, we trying to get as close to that 10K as we possibly can, as fast as we possibly can. But here's the thing. More importantly, make sure you tap in to the super chats. And the reason you're tapping into the super chats is because you're investing into a platform. But more importantly, your voice matters. I care about y'all's voice and y'all being heard. All right. So this channel would be nothing without y'all. So without you, ain't no me. All right. So definitely make sure you invest into the platform. All right. So let's go ahead and tap in. Let's go ahead and get into this first topic of today. So we got this young lady, this young Caucasian woman, and she basically telling men, listen, fellas, let me put y'all up on game on how to date these women. Because if y'all don't do it, I might have to date them for y'all, because y'all just out here lost in the sauce. That's basically what she's saying. But let's get the full context of what she's talking about. And then I'll give my thoughts and opinions. All right, let's rock out.
Confessions of a Single Mama 3, let's do it. Y'all really just be broke out here, huh? I'm talking to the men right now. Let me put you on, buddy. If you're interested in a woman and she says something like, I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow, how hard is it for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna send you $100? Do you not have $100 to spare? The most she'll spend is $30 if you order her some food to her house. Order her some food to her work. I'm trying to put you on game. Like, you need to listen to me. Like, it actually grosses me out whenever I tell a man that I'm talking to, I'm going to get my lashes done, and the only words out of his mouth are, well, let me see a picture when you're done. How about you send me $75 to pay for it? $75 is pocket change. Why are you not offering to pay for that? Especially since you want a photo of it afterward. Look, I'm going to just start dating the women for you guys since y'all suck at it. Like, women want to be taken care of first and foremost. I don't care what anyone says. Like, being taken care of is the most attractive thing for a woman. Telling me that you talk to a woman and you're not calling her, you're just literally using your little thumbs to text. Are you 12 years old? You guys, I can't deal with this. Like, y'all are just so annoying to me. Some of you are rolling your eyes being like, women just want to take our money. You just want to take our body and what? Like, on facts. I don't know. Y'all are weird. Confessions.
I'm gonna play it again and then I'm gonna break it down, because
Of a single mom of 3, let's do it.
First and foremost, red flag. Shorty, you're 3. You got 3 of them. You got 3 of them things. 3 of them. You already at a disadvantage. 3. Nobody cares about the big glasses that you got going on. Nobody cares about the cute face. Shorty, you got 3 of them things. First mistake.
Y'all really just be broke out here, huh? I'm talking to the men right now. Let me put you on, buddy.
If
you're interested in a woman and she says something like, I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow. How hard is it for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna send you $100? Do you not have $100 to spare? The most she'll spend is $30 if you order her some food to her house. Order her some food to her work.
Why does it always have to come down to a nigga spending money on y'all? Why? Why does every story time they always got some sort of profile? They come on here, they got the nails done, you know what I'm saying, looking halfway decent. Then they want to mention how they got kids, as if that's supposed to make us feel sorry for you, make us feel bad now that we want to give our money to you. Men naturally want your body, right? But of course, we understand that we gonna have to put in the work. And so therefore, for the ones who don't have to put in the work, they already understand. Like, listen, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and slot you because I see what type of time and you got this 304 behavior. You letting everybody bust it down. The chicks that's actually worth it, guys understand that they're gonna have to put in a little, they're gonna have to put in a little bit of elbow grease. We understand that. But you coming out the gate talking about, man, well, I'm telling you, I'm getting my nails done, and all you doing is telling me to send a picture of it. What's so hard about sending me $100? Bitch, don't you got a job? You got a job, right? You do have a job. I'm pretty sure you have a job. You expected me to send you lunch? You ain't sending me lunch. Where's my lunch? Where my lunchy lunch at? Where's my consideration? Where's the fact that, oh, he's working his ass off? He putting in work over here. Let me send him something right quick. Let me DoorDash him some food right quick. Let him know I was thinking about him. Where's that at? Because see, you are telling everything that a man should do, and it always has to involve money, some sort of way. Sending you $100 to get your nails done. Shorty, you the one that want your nails done. I didn't tell you go get your nails done. You the one that want to go get them expensive ass nails. So go get them done by yourself. This shit that you're asking for, this is wife. This is wife shit that you're asking for. Yeah, they're called chicken heads. Correct. That's wife shit. That's for the wives. That's for the wives. You spoil your wife. You don't spoil girlfriends. You don't do that. You got your own shit. I got my own shit. You got your own job. And if you feel as if you want to send me a DoorDash or some food or something, cool, do your thing. And if I feel as if I want to do that with you as my girlfriend, cool. But what you're not about to do is make it an expectation, because I don't need to do anything. I don't have to do anything. And I know a lot of you are gonna come up, well, if you ain't gonna do it, or if you ain't gonna show what kind of man you are, why is she with you? So my money has to define the kind of man that I am. What if I want to wait until I marry and then I spoil her with all the fruits of my labor? What if that's the case? What if I'm very cautious about who I spend my money on? Even if it's a $20 lunch. Yup, $20. For those of you chicken heads up there, oh, it's only $20. It's only 20. Yeah, it's my $20, nigga. And you can't tell me how to spend it. How you know I ain't want to spend that $20 on me? I don't have no responsibilities. I don't have no responsibilities. And I'm just speaking for the men in general. Just speaking for the men in general, the ones who just say, I'm just telling you what they think in their head. They ain't got no responsibility, so why they need to give you $20 or throw you $100? Oh, I get it. What's up, big dog? Oh, I get it. Because You got a lot of these sucking niggas that be online talking about shoot her $1,500. If he ain't throwing you no money, he ain't no real man. And them the niggas that y'all don't even want for real. Them the sucking niggas, them the lame niggas, them the ones who gonna be lying to you to get in your pants. But us, you know what I'm saying, the ones who already understand, I don't need to spend no money to get you. But they know that that's how they only get these women, because they got to spend money on them, because they don't really fuck with them like that for real. So they got to spend money. They got to throw a little bread at them. And they still ain't fucking with you. You still, at the end of the night, you still get that side hook. That's crazy. That is crazy work.
I'm trying to put you on game. Like, you need to listen to me. Like, it actually grosses me out whenever I tell a man that I'm talking to, I'm going to get my lashes done, and the only words out of his mouth are, well, let me see a picture when you're done.
My thing is, why are you expecting that, though? Why are you expecting that? You saying a guy that you're talking to, you didn't say your husband, you said a guy that you're talking to. Why is the expectation that he got to spend money? And now you get the ick. You know, that's a white girl thing when they say the ick. I get an ick when I tell them I'm going to get my lashes and things done, and then they say, send me a picture. Okay. What if the nigga don't say nothing? He just say, all right, cool. Then guess what? Then there becomes another problem. Well, you act like you really don't care. What you want me to do? So then if he do spend money on it, then he be like, I really don't care to look at it. I just threw you money. Then you're going to have another issue. Then there's another problem. Well, you don't act like you don't care. I got my lashes done. You didn't say anything about it. Pick a struggle. At least the nigga care enough to say, hey, send me a picture when you're done. I want to see what it look like. Even though he probably ain't going to be able to tell the difference, but he going to say, send me a picture just to act like he actually fucking cares when he really don't. He's just showing you that he's engaging with you. That's it. He don't really care.
How about you send me $75 to pay for it? $75 is pocket change.
Says who? I don't give a fuck if it's 50 cents. It's my money. You can't tell me how and who to spend my money on. Who the fuck are you? Did you go to that job and work that job for me? Did you fill out the application for me and send it in? Did you go into that interview for me and have the interview? Did you buy me the clothes that I had to put on to go to that interview to get that job? Did you have to go into training with me in order to learn the job necessary for me to, in order to do the job the proper way? Were you there with me? No, you were not. So you ain't finna sit here and tell me that, oh, $75 is just $75 is just pocket change. I don't give a damn. What up, my guy? I don't give a damn if it's $75. No. The answer is no. And the fact that you even expecting it, it's a double no for me. So now you really, I double lock that hoe now. You really ain't finna get no money from me now. Just because of the expectation. You bugging. You bugging.
Why are you not offering to pay for that? Especially since you want a photo of it afterward.
Because I don't want to.
Look, I'm gonna just start.
Why? I'm just trying to understand. It's a picture, bro. What's good with you, Jai? It's a picture, fam. It's a picture. A picture, something that you do every day. It don't take you a lot of money to, just like you're doing now. It took you only a few seconds to pull out that phone, go like this, boom. Swipe that hoe to the right side or left, wherever you on, wherever your screen is on. You press the camera button, you set that hoe up, and you say you talk or do whatever the fuck you want to do, or take a picture, whatever the fuck you're doing. But we just going based off of this video. You talk, you propped it up on somewhere in your car, and you talking to the camera. And this man is asking you for a picture because he want to see. And all you got to do is this. Oh, camera, and send. And you think that's worth $75? Bitch, you better sit the fuck down. Man, we talking about a lot, Jai. We talking about a lot, big dog. We got a lot of topics we talking about right now, but we just talking about this icebreaker topic right now. And this delusional woman who's extremely entitled right now, talking about how men should spend money on her and how she gets the ick in regards to when men say, send me a picture, or why men don't offer to pay for nails and why they don't send them money for lunch. and shit like that. I'm like, shorty, this ain't even your husband. That's, you want him to do husband shit. He ain't a husband. It's your boyfriend. That's a guy that you're talking to. You ain't even said this your man. This a man. This a person that you're talking to. So that's where we're at right now.
Dating the women for you guys since y'all suck at it.
Well, go date them. Bye. Go join the other people in the ABC community. Go and join them. Go over there then, if that's the case. And we're going to see how great that relationship actually works for you. Because I don't know why y'all always think it's greener on the other side. Because guess what? The chicks that you're going to date, guess who they going to be? They're going to be the same type. They're going to be trying to emulate the same person that you just ran away from. They're going to be trying to emulate men. Can't nobody do it better than men. I don't care how you feel about it. We are yin and yang. We are two different creatures. That's why we think differently. That's why it don't work. That's why it doesn't work most times with women. That's why y'all have the highest divorce rates. That's why y'all friendships don't last the longest. That's why male friendships tend to last longer. But go ahead. Be our guest. Be our guest.
Like, women want to be taken care of first and foremost. I don't care what anyone says. Like,
yeah. So I thought that was the move in the early dating days, only to realize that it was a complete waste of time. You can't change their mind with deeds. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And then they're gonna want more. Oh man, he threw me $100 for my lunch. Oh, he's so generous. Just so they can take a picture, put it on Instagram, put it on TikTok, or put it on their Snapchat. And then next thing, just so their friends, oh girl, he's a good man, this, that, and the third, whatever, all the other bullshit. But then she gonna have other expectations. But then when you ask her to do something, then it becomes an issue. Hey man, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that in 2026. We're not doing that. We're not doing that in 2026. I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire man. We're not doing that in 2026, bro. If you got money, make her work for that shit. Like, okay, so you want me to send you $100. You want me to be generous and courteous to send you $100 for lunch. Bet. You gonna earn that. If I'm sending you money, guess what? You finna earn every bit of that $100. When you tell them that shit, when that conversation pops up, let's see how they react to that shit. Because I get the ick too when I hear bitch talking about, oh, you should send me some money. No, I shouldn't. I actually shouldn't. You just pissed me off. That's what you just did.
Being taken care of is the most attractive thing for a woman. Telling me that you talk to a woman and you're not calling her, you're just literally using your little thumbs to text. Are you 12 years old? You guys, I can't deal with this. Like, y'all are just so annoying to me.
Well, you got as a single mom of 3, you got too much time on your hands to be on the phone, talking on the phone. So that nigga might be busy too. He may not want to talk on the phone, but hey, I get it. That's the only one that I kind of understand. Listen, sometimes you want to talk on the phone. Gucci. I understand that. Have a conversation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or we can do this. Sometimes most men don't like talking on the phone. How about this? We set up a time, we can go kick it, we can have fun, we can have a full-on fucking conversation with each other. So that way, put our phones away, we ain't got to worry about taking pictures. We go somewhere where it's intimate, where we can have a conversation, we can talk to each other and actually engage with each other. So therefore, we ain't got to worry about the fucking phone calls. Because I'm not going to be sitting over here being on the phone with you 3 to 4 fucking hours just so we can act like we're in high school again. No, 10 minutes. That's all you get. 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes from me, dog. What up? Oh, okay. What's going on? How you feeling? Oh, okay. How was your day? Oh, word. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. How the kids doing? Oh, damn. For real, they got you running around that bit, huh? That's crazy work. Damn. So hold on. What time you gotta wake up in the morning? Oh, for real? Shit. Hey man, I understand it. So what's your day looking like tomorrow? Well, I got this going on tomorrow. I got this. I got this going on. Okay, yeah, I got this. Oh, where? How's your day? What's your day looking like tomorrow? Well, shit, to be honest with you, You know, I gotta hit the gym in the morning. Then after I hit the gym, I gotta go right to work, man. We got some things that we gotta finish. We got a project that we're working on right now. So it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day, man. I'm gonna be tired of shit too. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you a call, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to hear your voice real quick, you know what I'm saying? And you know, just wanted to talk to you real fast, check up on you, make sure you straight. You need anything from me? No, you're good. Okay. All good then. Well, listen, I'll probably once I get a little time tomorrow, I'll probably give you a quick call or I'll shoot you a text and let you know I'm thinking about you. All right? Cool. All right, then I'll talk to you later or talk to you soon. Click. I'm not finna sit up there and have a 3-4 fucking hour conversation with you. Nah, the deep conversation should have been had in person, right there in front of each other. That's it. I'm not finna do all that shit, bro. You bugging. You bugging.
You were rolling your eyes, being like, women just want to take our money. You just want to take our body and what? Like, on facts. I don't know. Y'all are weird.
You said, nah, you ask. Listen, that's what listen, me personally, yeah, I would ask if you need anything. But the person that I'm talking to, we already got skin in the game. This ain't somebody that I just met. This is somebody I already got skin in the game with. We months in. We talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, close to a year. We in. This first meetup shit, man, listen, bro, still ain't doing it. I'm not gonna do all that. Nope. Got me all kinds of fucked up. You feel me? But yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. All right? Because shit's wild, bro.
Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry. I found out a way how to make my money work in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't just trust situation. This is legit, and this is something that your average day person implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bad. This isn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. There's a promo going on right now, so you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up, because this is too valuable. The link is in the description. And hey, let's get our money. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah. Let me read some of these comments real quick. It says AMS used to say, okay, but you're gonna be sucking a whole lot of D. Facts. I would rather have support, stability, and guidance on how to reach my potential goals rather than money. Exactly. But see, a lot of these women don't understand that though. They just want money. They don't understand that. A lot of them don't even know what their potential is. They don't even know what they want to do in life. They just talking. They just going through the motions. That's all that they're doing. They just trying to figure the shit out. They trying to make it through life. That's all they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they want. And the F that, I'm not chit-chatting on the phone. 10 minutes, bro. That's all you get. 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes out of me. I'm not going to have a full-on conversation. They want to be treated like wives from the jump. Yep, not happening. I'm not treating you like no wife if you ain't no wife. Now, you don't ask if she needs anything. They always need something. Of course they do. I only ask you once. I ain't going to keep asking. Love the hat. Appreciate you, homie. Shit, don't even ask what's wrong. Hey, listen. I ain't asking what's wrong. I ain't asking none of that. You can hear it all in her voice. She like, ooh, she sound like she down in the dumps. I'm just gonna say, hey, you need anything? 9 times out of 10, most women who got a little ego to them, they got a little pride to them, right? They probably gonna say no. And I'm like, no, ain't nothing wrong. Oh, all right. I ain't asking again. I ain't finna hit them with that. You sure? Nope. All right, well, shit, you good. You feel me? As once in a while, there's an echo. Oh, I got an echo? Oh, no, we don't like that. Hold on now. We don't like them echoes. Let me know. Wait a minute. I don't like them echoes now. Is it still an echo in here? All right, so the only reason it was an ad, man, because I had the little mic on, so I got to cut that off. It's all good. It's all good though. It's all good though. So let's go ahead and go to the next topic. I'll be reading that super chat in a minute. KD, after this next topic, bro. I appreciate you, homie. So let's talk about Mr. Don Lemon. Man, that's part of the ABC community. Mr. Pro-Black, but yet dating a Caucasian man. Out here stirring up the pot. Listen, I'll tell you this. He know exactly what he doing when you talk about visibility. That's for motherfucking sure. Because he out here doing it. He out here doing it. That degree, don't he have a degree? Didn't he have a degree in journalism or some shit like that? I'm not sure. Somebody fact check me on that. I'm not sure. But he out here stirring the pot. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what they're talking about, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right, that's where I got it.
Fake news magas are losing their mind over something that's not even true.
Oh, no, sir. This ain't got nothing to do with MAGA. This got everything to do with you taking your faggot ass up in that church and harassing people like that. Now you want to circle back and act like, oh, well, I'm in no affiliation, association. No. You are in 110% corroboration with the Democratic Party that is causing more and more problems. You, by the way, who keeps saying that white people are devils, but you married to a white man. So does that make you the devil's broad? I'm trying to understand, what is it exactly that you are doing, and what is it exactly that you want us to think that you're doing? You are opposition to any and everything that is successful in this country. Anything that is trying to get this country together, you are in direct opposition of. But then you want to come back and try to play the victim. No, you're not a victim, Don. You are not a victim. You are 100% guilty of all the shit that you have already done.
Ooh.
And then you keep doing it. Then you keep doing it. Then you want us to come in and talk about, oh, well, you know, it's the news. It's the news. You're a damn journalist yourself. Listen, people. I keep trying to tell you, we're doing a complete separation. If you are not a melanated American, if you are not one of our non-melanated cousins, all y'all can get out. Even the people that were born here. If you do not like this country, and Don, you got plenty of money, take your ass somewhere else. You and your husband. Why don't you go somewhere? Where is all the rest of these people? Where did what's the name? The white lady that had the TV show. Go with Portia. Go over Ellen DeGeneres. Why don't you go be neighbors with Ellen and them? Just get that fuck out.
So let me play. I want to play this other video too that kind of gives us context and where she's talking about in regards to that protest that happened. Yeah, so I'm gonna play that video too because this is kind of wild.
Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people?
Oh, that's the pastor. That's the pastor that Don Lemon did an interview with.
Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment, exactly. Renee Good! Renee Good!
Now, I bet you $125. $125. If any one of them motherfuckers took their ass over there to Somalia and some shit popped off to one of those Americans over there, I guarantee you they will not be holding protests for your ass. Y'all weren't thinking about these. Y'all were not thinking about this situation. Y'all always trying to find a reason to point the finger. Let me guess. Let me take a wild guess. It's because of Trump, huh? Yeah, this been going on long before Trump. Y'all up here talking about ICE. It's because of ICE. It's because of ICE. It's because of Trump. They've been doing this long before Trump. It's just not being televised because guess who's in office? Because of Trump. Trump brought visibility. So everything has a microscope behind it. Everything that Trump does, every little thing that Trump's behind, all of a sudden it's a big issue. I ain't see none of y'all protesting none of that shit. I didn't see any of y'all protesting when Obama was in office. None of you. We didn't hear nothing about it. We didn't see it come across our screens at the rate that it's coming across. We didn't see none of it. But yet, y'all in people's churches in here talking about protesting, talking about disrespectful. At what point, when do we start doing this? Because I remember a time in my life where church was off limits. You couldn't do none on the church. If you had beef with somebody, if you wanted to fight somebody, you take that shit off the church grounds. Hell, there was even a time where you driving by the church and you beating your music, because some of us, we used to have our music loud as shit. Some people had them 12s in the trunk. I got 6 12s. I got 6 12s. They had beats in the trunk and they would turn their music all the way down when they driving by the church just because out of respect for the church. You got people walking in church during the sermon. Walking in church during the sermon. Putting their hands up. Talking about don't shoot. Don't shoot. Renee, say her name. Say her name. Renee Good. The woman who decided to input herself into a federal situation. Ain't have nothing to do with it. And here y'all ignorant motherfuckers go. Just like Don Lemon. But hey, for Don Lemon, his platform, he gonna make some money off of it. He gonna get more visibility, that's for fucking sure. Claiming pro-black, but yet again, this man out here dating a white man. And he a part of the ABC community. That's a double whammy. That's crazy. We have a duty to win. There's a difference between not knowing what I'm talking about and you not agreeing. I can understand the fact that you don't agree with me. That's fine. But the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about, I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So we'll keep you there. I'm not gonna bring you up on the camera. I'm not gonna bring your name up on the camera because we're doing things a little bit different now. If you want to be seen, if you want me to bring your shit up on the screen, guess what? You're gonna have to invest into the platform. That's it. We're not doing that. I ain't doing that no more. You ain't getting no free nothing. If you want to invest in the platform, invest in the platform. Because guess what? The chat's live matter. The chat's lives matter. The chat's voice matter. I participate in the chat. But if you want everybody to see what you're saying, super chat. Simple as that. We must love and support one another. Look at this.
All these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit as a preacher. Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No, Jesus would die within you. You do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't. And then be the most violent motherfuckers there is. They be the most liberals are the most dangerous motherfuckers that there are. They're the ones that's always stirring up the pot. They always crying and whining about something. They don't know what to do with themselves. They so angry. They're so flustered on the inside. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're so entitled. They think everything should go their way. You out here fucking around with these good church folk while they trying to pray and get their worship on. And y'all coming in there on your bullshit. Come on, man.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving. Shame.
Well, okay, so Mr. Beard Man with the Scully on, what the fuck are you out here doing? Why do y'all think that just because you out here protesting, you actually doing something? You ain't raising no money for no fucking body. You just out here running your fucking yaps. That's all you doing. You ain't doing nothing. You sound just like that new Black Panther Party over there. Y'all just talking. Y'all ain't doing nothing. You're not doing something that's actually progressing us forward. You're not. All you're doing is holding everybody back. All you want to do, you just want to be seen. You just want to be heard because you're a fucking weirdo. That's what it is. You're a weirdo. That's why nobody don't like y'all. That's why you start to see a lot of people moving away from the Democratic Party. That's why you see a lot of conservatives like, man, I ain't got time for these liberals, bro. I ain't got time for these liberals. Shout out to Anton Daniels. That's why he said, listen, liberal women and liberal white men are the most dangerous to American society. But he said liberal women first. Liberal white women. This is crazy.
Out now.
Yeah, this is extreme left. Extreme. This is extreme shit. Extreme behavior.
Out now.
Thanks, Katie.
Living real comfortable while the people starve. Living real comfortable while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're all living real comfortable, aren't you?
Says the guy that got his phone walking around in
Stand with the Somalis.
clothes.
Stand with the Latinos. Quit ignoring this injustice. He wears a suit and tie and he hangs out with Christy Nome. How is that a Christian? You're supposed to accept all immigrants, are you not?
No.
Why are you not going down to Whipple and joining us in protest against this inhumanity? No. You claim to be a Christian.
Half of y'all don't even know what the fuck Christian even means. Y'all just say Christian. You think y'all really think God is a sucker, huh? Y'all think God a sucker. That's what I think y'all think God is a sucker. That's what I think that y'all think. Y'all think God loves everybody. Y'all have this rhetoric that God loves everybody when that ain't the case. Y'all far the fuck off. Oh, far the fuck off. Y'all do not understand God was like that. He was him. He didn't play no games. But for some reason, you got these white extreme liberals out here talking about what about the people that are hungry? Okay, Mr. Man, what the fuck are you doing? I don't see you doing nothing. I don't see you posting anything talking about how you helping the people, how you helping the needy, how you helping. Take your ass over there to the. How about this, Mr. Extreme Liberal White Man? Take your ass over there to that hood, right? In that section 8, and take your ass over there to that trailer, to that white trailer park, because both of them are one and the same, but one just different. One's a trailer park, one, and the other one's just Section 8 housing, but still the same. Take your ass over there and take food over there and help them out. How about you go do that instead of coming to these good old church folk, going into their churches while they're in there for worship? Go over there. How about you do that? You got all this energy for everybody, except for the people who actually need it. Y'all always asking everybody else for a handout, but y'all ain't doing it yourself. Protesting ain't gonna help shit. You can scream, yell, cry all you want. You can record people in the snow as much as you want. You can scream to the top of your lungs. It ain't moving no needle. All you're doing is agitating people more and more and you pissing them off. That's exactly what you do. But I'm crazy though. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. If you want to support the channel, definitely do so, because chat lives matter and you're investing in the platform. All right, y'all matter. If it ain't for y'all, it wouldn't be me. All right, so that's just crazy.
Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry. I found out a way how to make my money work in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't just trust situation. This is legit, and this is something that your everyday person can implement in their life, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short term play. It's a long term play. There's a promo going on right now. So you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up, because this is too valuable. The link is in the description. And hey, let's get our money. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and read these super chats real quick.
Where the money at?
Shout out to KD Warwick 4754 for the $5. He says it's not much, but it's honest money, and you provide the entertainment. Listen, homie, I appreciate you guys. Because if it ain't for y'all, it wouldn't be me. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy, and locking in with me and believing in your boy and investing in the platform. So I thank you, KD. I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate you. Let me see what he says. He says, "Hey, Courtney, you do you, but you got to speak about God more. It's powerful. I got you, brother. I will. I got you, brother. I will. I got you. I definitely got you. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and move over. To this next topic of tonight. We got Myron Gaines. He went on this platform. I forgot the other guy's name. He's another podcaster. He was talking about he was gonna quit, and I believe his spot got robbed by somebody. I forgot his name. He's a podcaster. I forgot his name. But they're talking with some other women. One woman who's an OnlyFans model, and another woman who's like a 40-year-old woman, and she's talking about how she's high value. While up there smoking cigarettes and shit like that, which is wild to me. But they're having a conversation about body count and other topics in regards to men and women, right? So I want to get into this. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions. All right, so let's rock out.
We go down the line and say, how many bodies is 2 bodies for me to want to date the opposite sex? Or
I feel like when you get over a certain age, it doesn't matter, because that's what you think about.
Okay, so no cap.
I'm almost 40 years old. If you're worried about how many people your partner slept with, you're insecure.
No cap.
Yeah, I don't really care how many people somebody has slept with. What I care about is, what's inside and how they treat me. So
realistically, if your partner or somebody who you were interested in slept with, ridiculous.
Obviously, if somebody slept with 1,000 guys, I'd have a lot of questions for her.
Okay,
that would be a little.
What is it?
But you'd still be open to
pursuing. But for the
pursuing.
most part, in a general term, if I met somebody that went through times in her life, like the female version of Wilt Chamberlain, for example.
Oh.
Then,
I don't know if that's exact same thing.
But obviously, I would have questions. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not the end all be all for me.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
I think for me, it's about inconsistency. So, like I said, the guy I'm with right now, he was my first body, but up until then, I'd meet a lot of guys who would fetishize that I'm a virgin. I think it's
all right.
Okay. And for me, if a guy has a super high body count, but they want a girl who's a virgin or has a low body count, for me, that's a bigger red flag than just a guy who has a high body count.
Sure. Tim?
Wait, why is that a red flag? Why do I want to be with a girl that's a...
Because I think
That's a red flag.
I think a valid reason for wanting someone with a low body count is pair bonding, and that applies for both sexes. So if both of them have a higher body count or one of them does, that's going to disaffect pair bonding. So I would say that guy doesn't have a valid reason.
Pair bonding, that's the dumbest thing I
Yeah, that is.
They don't have to believe in it, but I'm just saying if that's his belief, like he's a Christian or he's religious, and so he also keeps a low body count, then for me that's a more valid request or standard.
I am so
glad I don't live in your guys' universe. My wife and I have known each other for over 20 years, and this never was a thing.
Tim, you don't watch any porn.
How long have you been in your wife been
It's a
together
weird
for?
question.
So we've
What the fuck he just say?
known each other about 20 years. We dated around the time we first met, and then we had kind of like a, I don't know, like a millennial on-off thing for the whole time. And then
So this is a weird, it's even a weird concept, I think, because for me, like, who gives a fuck? I don't even, I'm almost 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm a high value woman.
Weird. Let me rewind that back. Y'all, let me rewind that back just a little bit.
Years old. You know what I mean? I'm a high value woman, but it doesn't.
Are you married?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm married. No, because you guys are all.
Tim Pool. That's
Shut
his
up,
name.
dude.
No.
No, not Tim Pool. The
No.
other
Shut
guy.
up.
No, you're
No one's.
The one with the
Shut
jazz
up,
hat
dude.
on.
a 40-year-old woman
Oh,
that's saying she's high value.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Oh, you know what?
40 years old and two.
Sorry,
Holy.
I don't listen to the way that Muslims think about anything. So shut up.
You need the guidance.
No, I think you need the guidance.
You need to stop eating pigs.
I'm on her
You eat too
side.
much- You clearly eat too much ham.
Wait. Was there,
You eat way
was
too
there
much
a
ham.
question for me or something?
A question? No.
No, you're saying. No, but we were
Stein,
talking
body
about.
I would not be with a girl if she's banging.
just saying,
If it's more than two hands.
All right, let me
I
take
ain't
this.
gonna-
Let me take
I
this.
ain't gonna hold you, Battle Zone. Listen, your past is a reflection of what's gonna happen in the future, big dog. Especially when it comes to women with the high body count, bro. They're more likely to leave. They're not stable. 9 times, yeah, you may catch a couple of them. You know, some they may slip through the cracks, but 8 times out of 10, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
All right, this might, let me.
Seriously, I mean, yeah.
More than 2 bodies is no good for you?
No, more than 10. Like
More
if
than 10,
yeah. Now,
double
here's the
this-
thing.
Now, of course, let me be clear about it though. Every man has his threshold. Some men say, listen, you can't have more than 3 bodies. Some men say more than 5. Some men say more than 10. Some men say 50. There's a threshold for every man, and every man is different. But that body count matters. But that number is definitely specific to the man. But at the end of the day, every man has a number. Just like there are a lot of women who have a price.
No
Like,
way.
this is a personal thing with each guy, right? So they all have their number and that's fine. But what I will say is that most guys are going to have problems with women that have a very promiscuous past. That's just the reality. It's a biological reality.
No, it's not.
So
What about men? How about women
No,
that have a
it's
problem with
not.
men? It could go both.
Ain't she out here smoking cigarettes? Ain't nothing. Hell nah. High value. What about her is high value? Look at this shit. What about her is high value? What about her when she walks down the street? Because at the end of the day, we already know men out the gate, we're physical creatures. So when we see this right here, when we see this shit right here, what makes it high value? Where? And she probably drank beer. Ugh. High blood pressure, high BMI. And this ain't even the insult. We just, listen, I'm calling out listen, I need a lot of women who gonna see this too. I need y'all to understand as well. This isn't me going in on her because I can go in on her. But when you make a statement like, I'm high value, you're opening yourself up for a lot of shit and a lot of criticism. Just because you say you high value, that doesn't make you high value on any level. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even if you're a man and you say you high value, hey fam, I need to see the results. You say you high value, I need to see the results. I need to see how it is that you're a high value man. Now, if you say you're a high value man in progress, you're working towards that. And when we talk about that, that means, I know a lot of people have their different definitions, but I'm gonna try my best to stay as close to the Kevin Samuels one as I possibly can. But a high value man, a Henry, a man who was in training, high earner, not rich yet. And that comes with what? That comes with the outer appearance and his mentality. You can't just be a high earner just to be a high earner. There's a lot comes with that. And I'll give y'all an example too. I can use myself as an example, right? I'm gonna cut my hair off. I'm gonna get my low cut again. I'm done with the braids because I think it's an image thing, right? Start improving the image. We back in the gym. We eating healthier now because we're focusing on the outer appearance. We're focusing on the image, right? And how we can better improve ourselves to be more receptive, so more people can be more receptive, right? So when we talk about sponsorship deals, when we're talking about people who may be seeing me or people I can potentially work with, I want to make sure that I'm presentable outside first, but also I need to make sure that my mental matches that. So then I become that high value man once I get to that point. Right? Her in this aspect, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Right? So
what about men? How about women that have a problem with men? It could go both ways, can't it?
No, it's not.
Well,
Here's
they
the
don't
problem.
because we
No,
asked them to, and they said that it was uncapped, right? So
some women don't want to be with men.
There is double standard though, where a guy that has a lot of sex is valuable, and a woman that has a lot of
can
sex.
have a lot of sex. Here's the thing.
That's called
a man. The analogy is, a key that opens many locks is a master key versus a lock that opens any key is a shitty lock. But the reality is that if a man has a lot of sexual partners, he's doing something right because it's not easy for men to get sexual access. But if a woman has, hold on, let me finish. But
now, I will say this: from the looks of her face, if you take the chunkiness off, when she was younger in her 20s, she probably was attractive. She probably was hot shit. I'll give her that because you can tell. You can look at her and tell when she was younger, she probably was hot shit in her 20s. But she think that her 20s follows to her 40s. Shorty, you don't look the same. You ain't dressing the same. You ain't as confident in your body as you were when you were in your 20s. But what you did, and what you did continue to keep, is that attitude. And we can tell that she got one.
if a woman has a lot of sexual partners, she's definitely doing something wrong because the reality is men must create their value to get sexual access versus women need to preserve their value because as soon as they turn 18, they can get any guy that they want. And so if they go ahead and gamble it away and spend their, youth and time being it's going to hurt them later on. That's literally the basis as to why we were talking about before her OnlyFans shit is going to. Despite the fact that she's saying I'm a virgin or whatever, the fact that she does sex work in general does inherently lower her value because men look for purity. It's one of the most important things we look for when looking for a mate.
Yeah,
now, if you guys don't want to understand biology, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Yes, it's because
there are rich, ugly guys.
And the reason why you just mentioned a child, that's the primary reason. We must ensure paternity. And before the advent of paternity tests, we had to kind of take the woman's word. So the reason why guys have a vested interest in a woman not being a is because if she's not, we know the child's ours.
Yeah, but girls can say the same thing in reverse, where they don't want a guy with a lot of sexual partners because that's going to divert his resources away from hers. You can make the Evo psych argument in reverse. And yeah.
Oh, because
was your boyfriend a virgin?
I'm not talking about his sexual history. I'm not going to talk about his sexual history, but I will say prior to him, all my exes before him were Christian conservatives. They all kept low body counts. A lot of them were also valuing waiting till marriage.
Okay, here's
so I will say that. So I'm just saying it's fine to have that standard. I'm just saying.
Wait, so hold on. The guys, hold on. So she said, and correct me if I'm wrong. So she said earlier, right, that the guy that she's with now is her first body, meaning he's the one that broke her virginity. The guys that she dated prior didn't have anything. They didn't do anything because they had values in regards to being a virgin and making sure that they wait till marriage, right? So what I'm hearing, and the reason why she didn't answer this question, because then she gets backed up into a wall, and then now she also understands it, and it was going to prove the point of her saying that the guy that she's with now, he already had multiple bodies, which then proves the point of we don't live by the same rules as men and women. Because she was willing to lay down with the guy who had experience versus laying down with the guys who had the values. Now, did she want to lay down with them? Maybe. Don't know. Or was she even attracted to it at that time? Because maybe she wasn't feeling it and maybe they just weren't giving off that vibe and she wasn't getting wet down there. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But the guy that she's with now, bust that cherry.
It's a double standard. That's the way it should be.
I'm saying
Men
girls
live life
don't
on hard
actually
mode.
want
Women live life on
promiscuous
easy
guys.
mode.
Girls
This
just,
is why.
okay, can I finish?
Women literally
Girls
live life
don't
on
want
easy
guys.
mode when it comes to sexual access. I find it interesting that you mentioned, oh, I was a virgin. Why did you lead with that? Because you understand that your value as a partner is intrinsically tied to your body count.
Yeah.
That's why you mentioned it.
No,
Now,
because you brought up my boyfriend. And I'm saying the definition of someone who watches their girlfriend get other men. You're saying by your definition, he's obviously not a. If he's one of my V cards, you dumbass. That's not why I led with it.
Hold on.
Second of all, women do often care about a guy's promiscuity. Women do care about guys' promiscuity. They suck it up most of the time. Because like the reason I said, you can make the ovocide argument in both ways.
Your body count mattered way more to him than his body count matters to you. Because women understand, hey, guys are going to have a body count. It is what it is. If anything, men with higher body counts tend to be attractive because they have social proof. They demonstrate higher value, and they're able to be attractive to other women. Versus on your totem pole, you care more about his status, how he looks, what he does. He's caring about, okay, is this chick a virgin? You literally said, no. I gave him my virginity. What does that imply?
It's funny because outside this red pill world, most guys find it like, they find it weird if a girl at my age is a virgin. Like I lost it at 26. Outside of the red
there's a
pill.
difference between like virgin and like 50 plus bodies that a lot of like men
I guess my point is like most guys I speak to,
they'll find it weird, but they won't.
It's not about virginity.
They'll find it weird.
Well, they find it weird. A lot of men find it weird now because a lot of these chicks are 304s. Most chicks are already having sex at the age of 16. They've already done it already in high school. So it's very, very far-fetched and very hard to find a woman that has not busted open yet. It's hard. So yes, when you a man and you find a woman that ain't been a virgin, 9 times out of 10, he trying to lock her down. I was like, nah, fam. Nope, she ain't tainted. Nope. Let me go ahead and get her real quick. Let me go. Come here, shorty. Come here. God damn it. Shit. Come on now. Can't get away from me. Come here. God damn it. You know what I'm saying?
It's about not wanting to just get pressured into sexual experiences just because society says you have to, just because they're like, oh, well, you're an OnlyFans, so you might as well let it go. I don't subscribe to that. I can do it if I want to.
Is there an amount of money you could make that would retire you from your sex work?
If so, I've already made it. So no, I'm going to
ask
go
you a question, sir? I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Alad.
Would you rather be Alad?
Shout out to the boys.
Did he say Benjamin Netanyahu? I didn't hear what he just said. Would you
Eliyahu.
rather be with a woman who treats you like shit, who doesn't do anything for you, who's terrible in bed, but has only been with 1 or 2 men in her life? Or would you rather be with someone who has been with 1,000 men, but treats you fantastic, respects you, doesn't cheat on you, and is a loving person? Or what would you rather have?
You know,
Answer that question.
A loving person.
like,
That's not
frankly,
even
neither.
a good comparison.
This is
Let me tell you.
I would say neither.
That's a horrible choice. But if you're going to choose, I'd rather choose the one with the low body count. The attitude and shit, we can fix. He's saying the bad sex, you can fix that. You can fix that. Attitudes and shit, you can fix that.
Neither.
Okay, so you can't choose between the two? You're telling me you'd rather have somebody that treats you like shit, maybe, than someone who slept with?
So let me take this. See, here's the thing. I would take the girl that's 1 or 2 bodies, and I'll tell you why.
That treats you like crap.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
As a man, your job, let me explain. As a man, your job is to turn your woman into basically your follower. She's your assistant. Your job is to make her be useful to you. You got to come in and train her. Okay, so let me ask, it's misogyny? Okay, so explain to me, why do women want a guy that's taller, makes more money?
Not every woman wants that.
Dominant, assertive?
In fact, a lot of them don't.
The majority of women, overwhelmingly, look for status.
They want a short, broke guy. That's what they look for.
Oh, you said this might need to be a whole topic. Should I save it? Should I save it for the because we're gonna go live Friday too on the Banter and Barter Show. We're gonna do another live stream for the panel. You know what? That might be a great question to ask. You know what? Let me write that down. Let me put that in my notes, man. That's a great one.
The majority of women,
Byron, you're tall, you're single.
Hold on. The overwhelming majority of women wants a guy that's taller, stronger, competent, and is a leader.
Wait.
That's
biology. Fact. We're not.
No, it's really
a fact. It's a literal fact.
Every woman has
it's not right for you because you're old now, but the
Yeah.
reality is you don't have the same ability to command a higher status guy. That's why you gotta call yourself a high value woman.
Well, just,
So
to be fair,
a high value woman is a woman that can get a high
Right.
value guy to lock her in and take his last name.
Right.
So ridiculous.
Women
You
get
guys
their
don't
value
really believe
from the
this
men
shit,
that they're
do
with.
you?
Men get their value based on what they provide to society. We are not the same, okay?
Right.
Men are evaluated completely differently than women are.
Ladies and
Don't let
gentlemen,
these over
Aaron is
here
so
try to
popular on
change her
social
mind.
media.
Yes,
he says
because
the
I
most
tell the truth.
ridiculous. No,
This
you
is
don't. No, you
Elizabeth,
This is
Elizabeth, where's Elizabeth? Is Elizabeth here?
misogynist.
We got-
ass nigga.
Everybody got
you guys what to be
White House
attracted.
supporter.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Hold on one second. Hold on.
You stop listening to
There's
Muslim
reason.
ideologies.
Hold
That's
on,
exactly
hold on.
where you're
Yeah.
There's
coming
a reason.
It's the Sharia
There's a
law.
reason.
Yeah, Sharia law is
There-
exactly
there-
what it is,
yeah.
dude.
You-
Women only want
you
tall
need a
guys
diet
with
law.
money.
Anyway,
Oh, shut up,
there's
dude.
a reason.
Fucking hairpiece.
There's a reason guys like me and
Oh,
Andrew
right.
say it's such
Yeah,
a blow
right.
because we're saying what all men are thinking.
Oh, right.
We don't want annoying,
Yeah.
crass women
Right.
like
From the
this
single guy.
trying to tell us what it is.
Right.
We know what we're attracted to, and these.
And you see what I was talking about earlier. You know why there's so many? Want to know why there's so many women, extreme leftist women, white women? You see that nigga over there with that jazz hat, who play that little flute on Sunday nights in church? That's him. He the reason why. He the reason why, because he's using the same talking points. Well, you're single. Look at you. You're single. Look at you. You're single. As if men don't control access to relationships. As if women are out here. As if women are the ones that's out here chasing men, when men are actually the ones out here chasing women and locking them down. As if men ain't putting these women in slots, which is why a lot of these women, oh, what are we? What are we? And these niggas playing the game with them. Shit, man, you know, we just kicking it for real, man. We getting to know each other, man. We chilling for real, for real. He ain't giving you the access. He ain't giving you the access. So that argument to use against men thinking that we're the same, you might as well throw that shit out the window. It ain't the same. We ain't the same. We don't operate the same. Cut it out.
On the left, try to tell you guys,
Right.
no, you should want a woman to talk.
Hey,
You
listen
should
to
want a
him.
girl.
Never
He's
said
doing
that.
well, dude.
Never said that.
Like,
Never
no,
said
thank
that.
you. We don't
Never
want
said that.
All right, we got
Apparently,
someone.
women don't
we don't
want
want
you.
that.
You're
We
got-
single.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys,
Look
we
at
got
it.
someone up
Here
here.
you
Who
go.
it
All right,
is?
Elizabeth, you
Yeah.
asked a question, but give us your opinion on the question.
So I will say this, one of the biggest problems we have in our society right now is testosterone.
Right.
Yes.
That clear.
Encourage
That,
the men in here if you
It
have
is,
not
yeah.
had your testosterone
Listen, you can always tell the profile of a woman. Look at her. We notice something. Anytime they got colored hair, she's a problem. She's a problem.
levels checked, you should.
yeah, Myra.
And the
take
problem
note.
is that as women, as men are
You're a
losing
circle.
testosterone.
You're literally
Come on, hold on.
Oh, so Myron,
What?
you
Afterwards,
know I
Myra,
love
we
you,
can, dude.
and I support everything you say and do. I'm.
So you believe women are second-class citizens?
Let her finish.
Yeah, my problem.
Look at this nigga here. Look at him. Look at him. You believe women are second-class citizens? What's up with this outfit, though? Yeah, well, want me to hit it for you? Want me to hit it for you, KD? Want me to hit it for you, big dog? I got you. Watch this.
Shut up, bitch.
Problem
Okay, well,
is
that's
that
absurd.
men are not stepping up. Their testosterone levels are low.
I
Like
agree.
Brian.
All right, come on
I
down.
agree. Listen. Okay, listen. All right, so I'm gonna walk it back. Bullshit. I don't believe that there's everybody for somebody. That's cap. I disagree because there's a lot of single people out here. I disagree. I'm gonna walk it back. So at first I thought she was coming sideways. So that's on me. I jumped the gun. So basically what she's saying, more men need to start stepping up. They need to get more testosterone. I agree. More men, because in today's age, we don't have this testosterone as they used to have back in the day. Because they used to be filled with that shit. Pause. Men today, that testosterone level is low. They get softer. Soft and weak, they need some magnesium, they need some zinc, they need some vitamin D3, they need some tucanali, they need some fish oil, they need some ashwagandha, they need to go lift some fucking weights, they need to do all of that shit. They need to eat more eggs. They need all of that. Get that testosterone back and start building this shit back up. Look at him. Look at him. Well, first, testosterone that's one part of being a man. That's one part of it. Getting that testosterone back, because also a lot of men are becoming obese too. So therefore, that's a great thing. Having that high testosterone. Why y'all think that back in the day when our fathers, they looked like fucking grown ass men at the age of 15? And no, what you mean masculine mentality? Yeah, you're supposed to be masculine. I'm a fucking man. What do you mean? That don't make sense. What you want a softie? What you want a man? Oh, my bad. You like this type of nigga here. You like that type of nigga, huh? Pasty, soft, speaks the language of women, on women's side. You know, he's a feminist, don't know how to stand up for himself. He's the one who said that he don't care if his woman has 1,000 bodies, but yeah, I just care about her on the inside. Sound like some shit a woman is saying. Men need masculine mentality. Okay, I'm sorry, Iron. I apologize. I thought you were saying. I apologize. Listen. I know when to bring myself to the forefront. I apologize. I thought you were saying something else. My bad. That's on me. I jumped the gun. My apologies.
Come on down here real quick. Come up.
Yeah.
Come on, no, walk up here. You come on.
No,
like,
this way.
Listen to the words I'm
But you need
saying.
to take
Walk
that shit out
up
of her
here.
hair.
Gosh, it's like
Did she say my testosterone levels were low?
She did. Okay.
Yeah. See, yeah. Now he mad because he thought he was out here trying to save the women. Guess what? You got women going against him.
Well, I'll be happy to tell you that I actually saw a doctor 6 months ago, and I had some blood work done, and they were actually too high. Did you know that bald men have an average?
The fact that you feel like you have to justify yourself tells me you have a testosterone problem.
More testosterone, yeah.
Okay.
Do I have low testosterone because I don't think people like you are second-class
No, because
citizens?
all of us
like
had to be
fool over here.
Subject to you hitting on Myron this whole time. It was really uncomfortable.
It's weird. That's what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Weird.
Boom roast. That's what it is.
I'm really sexually harassed by this.
Hey, she trying to listen. She's trying to listen. She's trying to get in there. She's trying to get in there.
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm hitting a bigoted fool.
But Brian, does that make your brain?
That's why I have low testosterone.
Bro, it's literally the Lucky Charms for real.
Great point.
But Brian,
I
can you
have more luck with
comprehend
women
that?
than you do, apparently.
But real quick, Brian, is it really that hard for you to comprehend that she has this opinion as a woman? I mean,
as a woman, to make an assumption about somebody, because hold on, let me finish.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See how but you see, he has the talking points of a woman because he can't even concede to the fact of what she's saying, and she's saying it from a woman's perspective, and he's still disagreeing. This is a woman saying, but as long as they're on the other two are on his side, he gonna agree all day. This is crazy.
Let her answer.
It's not
as
an
a
assumption.
woman, excuse me, you're not a doctor. You have no medical degree, so be quiet and let me finish.
Here he go, trying to qualify and validate himself. He wasn't doing none of that shit with Myron. He wasn't doing none of that shit. And all of a sudden, he want to be big dog. Oh my God.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Now he sounds like Myron.
Maybe this is making you feel like a man. That's okay.
For you,
anything you need to feel like a man.
Be quiet and let me finish.
You gotta say men are speaking now.
For you to make an assumption about somebody, whether it be anything.
I was talking in general. You took it personally. I just said you were being.
I'll be honest. You might have a lot more
That's
testosterone.
no assumption. You were being.
I agree. You have a lot of testosterone. But anyway, let me just make. Can I talk for 5 seconds without being interrupted by you?
Go right ahead.
By the way, what is up with that? Forget it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there.
Look at him. Now
Anyway,
now he's trying to make ad hominem attacks. There he go. Check him out.
Oh, here we go.
For you to make an assumption about somebody and their testosterone, because you might not like a
Did I
political
say, Brian,
opinion.
you have a testosterone
yes,
problem?
you said it right over there.
I said
you said I have low testosterone.
We
now,
have a
that's fine. You can
testosterone
think that if you
problem
like.
in this country.
Oh, you also mentioned my name and you
No,
said
I said you were being.
No. Okay. You said I'd low. So what is your definition of being?
You were hitting on Myron nonstop.
Okay.
I
So
feel very uncomfortable. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me be very clear on that.
Can you blame him?
I don't have a fetish for bigots or grifters, okay?
That's why you dated
So,
MAGA. That's why you dated MAGA girl.
Number two, for you to assert that I am actually defending women and that I think they should be equal to men and they have the intellect to not,
You're
excuse
doing
me,
it
I'm not
out of
done yet.
emotion.
To be in the kitchen like Myron thinks, instead of having a job and having a career and being able to live their life they lives, if you think that women are a second-class citizen, then you're a and I want you deported to Gaza.
Ooh, why Gaza? Wait, why
He
Gaza? Because you're getting blown up.
Oh, he big mad. He big mad. Look at him. Look at him. He big. Look at the booty boo. He big mad.
Little mama. So.
That's a better opinion.
It's a very thing to say.
I may not agree, but I respect.
Clearly, I hit a nerve.
Here's the thing.
Little emotion.
Let me be clear here. When we're talking
Here
about
comes the misogynist.
when
Here
we're
we go.
talking about women as human beings, we're not saying that they're lower from a human being.
You said
If
second-class
anything,
citizen.
As a matter of fact, I would say women are very important because they carry on the next lineage of children. So we must protect them. However, when it comes to the confinements of a relationship, men and women are absolutely not equal. And she understands this because she has a long-term relationship and it's
Equal as
successful.
how?
Because she understands
Mentally or
that her
physically?
man is a leader.
How are they
and
not
she
equal?
follows-
Physically, mentally, what?
Let me explain.
Be specific.
All the parameters that women look for in a man, typically based off the guy having higher status and higher strength, income, capacity, everything than her. Women don't seek their equals when it comes to a relationship.
You
This egalitarianism that you're talking about.
You make assumptions
Well,
of how every
think
woman
fair
in
would
society
agree.
thinks.
Women.
It's
I have a-
ridiculous.
See, this is where the argument falls apart because you say you make assumption about every single woman. If you are a smart person, you have discernment. You know what I'm saying? You understand how to critically think. You understand that we're not talking about 100% of people because nothing in this word is absolute. So when we have these conversations, even if it's generalized, we got to understand if you pull a group of people, you pull a group of women, you can take a pool of women. You can say, I'm going to pull 100 of these women and I'm going to ask them, what type of man? And as I'm asking them, I'm going to give them data. I'm going to write down the data. You, based off of the information and the studies that's already out there, you can conclude that out of these 100 women, you could probably say that the overwhelming majority of women will pick a man that's above 6 feet, that makes a certain amount of money. He's probably in shape. He's probably somewhere in between some sort of shape or in full shape. Smart guys, some sort of intelligence, has to have an education, emotionally intelligent, all of these different things that will qualify this man for this woman. I guarantee you the overwhelming majority out of that 100 women will definitely prove the statistics that's already out here already. But that doesn't mean it's absolute. We know that there are not a lot of women out there. We know that sometimes there are some really tall women that are dating some short ass men. We know this. We know there's some skinny ass men dating some big ass women. We know this. We know there's some skinny ass women dating some big ass dudes. We know this and we understand this. Hell, there are even some men dating little people and vice versa. So yes, but the exception does not make the rule. You have to base it off the majority. So generally speaking, women want a man that's more superior to her. Which then completely destroys the whole idea of us being equal, because we're not. How come people can't comprehend that? This is crazy.
Overwhelming majority of women want a guy that's 6 foot plus, 100,000 plus per year. Strong,
Okay, wait.
smart.
Not everyone is materialistic. I got a question for Myron and for Brian. Why do you think it is that there has never been a female chess world champion?
Well, I mean, there's also never been a female president. There's a lot of things.
Thank God.
Hold on there, gosh darn minute. I asked you about chess, which any woman could enter the competition, and there's never been a world champ.
Sure. So I'll be the first one to admit I'm not a chess player. I don't know anything about chess. I would imagine it's a
Doesn't surprise me.
I would imagine it's a brain game. Say, Tim, you could relate to this. You're a poker player. You would admit that, poker's a mental game, right?
Women never raise. They always call.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Okay.
You've never played against Annie Duke like I have. But anyway.
That's one woman.
All right,
Anyway,
hold on. So there are a lot of great female poker players. Of course.
Yes.
Now, a woman has never won the main event. So here's the reason, in my opinion. There's a much smaller percentage of professional chess players and poker players than there are male. So I think you have to look at the percentage of it and say to yourself, if you have 300 female poker players and 8,000 male players in the World Series of Poker, the chances of a woman winning are far less.
Agreed. Now, the question then becomes, why won't women play chess?
Well, I don't speak for all women like apparently Myron does, but I will tell you that I don't know a lot about chess. I know that poker's also a mind game, and there's plenty of women that play poker. Maybe not as much as men.
Let me just say this.
Without you actually answering the question, because you're tiptoeing around it without trying to say it, because you already know the answer, but you want to say, I don't want to speak for all women because I'm not like Myron. You already know the answer, but you don't want to say it because then it goes against everything that you were just arguing about. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Most of these sporting events or even strategy. It's like that's
a physical thing. That's different.
But so in poker, chess, and all things similar, even if we're talking about Pokemon or whatever.
Right.
The proportion of women who play is substantially lower, and it's comparable across the board in every one of these fields.
Yeah, I think that's
why is
fair.
that?
Well, first of all, I'm not one of those lefty people that thinks that WNBA players should be getting paid as much as men. That's absurd. I also have always said this. I said this on your show. I've said this on plenty of other shows. I do not believe that women should be in women's sports. I know I'm kind of, expanding here, but the point I'm trying to make to your original question is there's a smaller percentage of women professional chess players.
I'm asking why. Why won't women play chess?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to
That's a rhetorical question.
Fundamentally different. Driven by different motives.
All right, guys. So we only have 10 minutes left.
I don't know the answer to that, Tim.
All right, next person, Clayton, come on.
He knows the answer to it, but he knows if he answers it, it's going to go against everything that he's been saying. It proves the point. It proves the point.
What do you have for us, Clayton? Come on, get on the mic. Clayton's right there. He's right there.
That is insane, bro. And again, here's another. This is another example of a Caucasian man trying to play Captain Save A Hoe. And the reason why a lot of these white women out here, I gotta call a spade a spade. A lot of these white women out here acting a fucking fool. White men get control of your white women. I'm telling you, now it's not a lot of them. Now listen, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing that. When I say something, I'm just gonna say it in general. I'm not gonna preface it by saying, well, I know it's not a lot. Y'all need to have better critical thinking skills. White men, get your white women again. I'm gonna stop doing that. Because y'all should already know. Y'all should already know my stilo. We already know it ain't absolute. So if you can't critically think and you gonna sit up here and say, oh, well, it's not everybody, you already lost it. I don't even want to talk to you no more. That's a fact. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification, dog.
Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry. I found out a way to make my money work in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't just trust situation. This is legit. And that's your average day person living in their lives, and they can really get to a bad. This isn't a short term play. It's a long term play. There's a promo going on right now. So you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up, because this is too valuable. The link is in the description. And hey, let's get our money. Let's get back to the video.
Yes, sir. And also, man, if you haven't tapped into the Patreon, be sure to tap into the Patreon. There's a lot of things coming that I got coming up. You definitely don't want to miss out. We're building and growing a community over there in the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned in the comments as well. Also, be sure to invest in the platform. Support the channel. Chat lives matter. I want to hear your voice. Everybody else wants to hear your voice. You are important to me. All right. So definitely invest into the platform. Throw the super chats in there. All right. So let's go ahead and go to this next topic of today. So we're going to talk about the Democratic Party and the Black liberals, and a lot of Black liberals and Black conservative women, and why a lot of Black women are starting to remove themselves from the Democratic Party. Now, I'm going to do my best to try to let it play through and not say much because I want them to voice their opinion. I may agree, may disagree, don't matter. I'm gonna do my best not to. I'm gonna let it try to play through. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
%3 discount, making it just $2.03 a month, plus 4 extra months completely free. And it's totally.
All right, let's get to it.
Black people as a community need to walk away from the Democratic Party.
It still has an echo? Dang.
All right. So, like I said, I identify as liberal, not necessarily a Democrat. I personally believe that both parties, they thrive by us like kind of puppeteering like back and forth division and kind of tearing people down. And it's more of like the people in power don't want us to listen to each other. So that goes for Republicans and Democrats. So I think that both parties need to listen to their people more. So I do think that instead of having a hive mind and saying like, kind of like being in these like, it almost kind of feels like the Bloods and the Crips. Like it's very intense, right? Like instead of that, I think that we should vote issue by issue. And like, maybe that doesn't mean that we're in the Democratic Party. Maybe that means that we form an independent party. Maybe it's, I just don't think that any person should say, I'm part of this gang or this gang or this club or this club. Like, I think it should be, we should use our critical thinking skills to choose which party or to vote on
which echo through the whole thing or just parts
is going to best advocate for our people.
I mean, I just think it like fundamentally destroys the concept of politics if any political party is entitled to a group of people's votes. The point is that the candidates have to earn what it is that our vote from us. And I don't think that anyone, any political party should expect any group of people to always vote for them. And I mean, if we look, Black people still have a lot of issues in this country and we've been voting Democrat faithfully. So I don't really see, you know, like what's the point of that party loyalty. But I also just think that there's an issue with the two-party system altogether, and everyone would benefit from not having so much party loyalty and us fundamentally not
okay, bro. I appreciate you, Katie.
Anymore across the board.
I think for me, the reason I would love to see the Black community remove itself from the Democrat Party is because I personally I really think that the Democrat Party intentionally harms the Black community. I really feel like a lot of the policies that they've put in play have down the line been a negative overall for the Black community than a positive. And I actually do think that if you look at Black history, we align more with conservative values overall. The Black church especially aligns with conservative values. So I do think, like, I hear what you're saying that, you know, we shouldn't be loyal to any party, but I think if most Black people were to look at each party ideologically, they would skew more conservative.
But you're talking about the Black church, which is not Black people.
No.
So
I'm talking about the Black community, and I'm just specifying that the Black church is part of a more conservative group within the.
I just say, man, if you're not gonna create or try to create a new party, listen, and you have conservative values, call it for what it is. If you're right leaning and a lot of your thought processes come from a right leaning ideology, call it for what it is. Listen, bro, you're a Republican. No matter if you want to say it may be something that you don't want to identify yourself with because it may have a disdain for other Black people. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, you're right leaning. The thought processes that you have, the way that you move is all right leaning. Just call yourself a Republican. Because a lot of people, what they do, they say, I'm an independent. I'm an independent. Oh, okay. So basically what you're trying to do, you're just trying to save face for the most part. Some people may have a great idea. I mean, some people may have a real logical reason as to why, but 9 times out of 10 is because they don't necessarily want to identify, but even though their values and their ideologies is either right or left leaning. without saying it.
Black community, but I do think that Black people in general have more conservative values.
But it goes back to that point of where we're fundamentally, once again, getting rid of the point of politics, which is no one should be entitled. So even if you're thinking that Black people generally align more with conservatives, that's still saying that conservatives then, it should just that the loyalty to one party should shift to conservatives, which I don't think there should be an entitlement at all.
And I think we need to remember why so many people, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. And so the reason why my family never votes Republican is they remember why the map flipped, right? The map flipped because they didn't want, they're like, oh my gosh, they're going to give rights to Black people. And so then all of those.
The Democrat Party.
I know,
Right?
like if you think about like.
They were the Democratic Party. The reason why a lot of Black people stuck with Democrats through all these years, because what is now the Republican Party, they were the Democrats back in the day. And the Democrats of today were did I say that right? Yeah. The Republicans of today were the Democrats back then. And back then, the Democrats of today were the Republicans back then. That's why. The Democratic Party of today were the Republicans back then. And the Republicans of today were the Democrats back then, which is why a lot of y'all, I'm Democratic. All right. Yep, right down to Sir Teasy. Facts.
I went to the University of Alabama.
Me too. Roll Tide,
right? But they weren't letting Black people the
Southern Democrats.
The Southern Democrats at the time,
which are now Republicans.
Who are now Republicans. They were not letting, they supported letting African Americans, Black people, go into the University of Alabama, right? So my grandma remembers when all of that was happening. My dad went to the University of Alabama right afterwards, and he said that he felt like a germ. He feels all of that racism.
I felt like it there then.
Yeah, and so that's why so many people, like Black people, don't, especially in the South, don't vote Republican, even though my family, even I probably am more moderate, but at the end of the day, my family, they're conservative. I'm Catholic, right? But focusing on the social justice issue, that's the reason why I hold my nose and I vote for.
Who's defending racism? Who the fuck is defending that? Where the hell did I say I'm defending racism? Where? What are you talking about?
The party that I vote for, because at the end of the day, when I look at the policies and I think of who's taking care of people, who's taking care of queer people, Black people, the poor, really mostly the poor, especially as a Christian.
But not to cut you off, sorry, but that's a problem for me, because Black and poor is not synonymous.
I'm not
right?
saying that.
Black and
I'm
queer
saying
is not
that
synonymous.
I said the people who need help, right? And I'm not saying, I'm saying personally, the reason why I vote Democrat is because I focus on the teachings of Jesus. And I was raised by my mother, who has been Catholic her whole life, and my grandmother, who's been Catholic their whole life. And the reason why we're Catholic is because nuns from the North came to the South and made a mission school because they weren't educating Black children. Right? They made a hospital. My mom would have been born who knows where, but it was for by the goodness of God, because of the passionate of the Catholic faith, that there was a hospital for them to go to. And all of that wouldn't be possible if, or kind of going back, the reason why our family, there's a lot of racial trauma that is associated with the Republican Party, because the Southern Democrats that are now all Republicans,
Can we
switch.
Put a pin in that? I first of all, I want to say I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. Nobody owns our vote. That's very slave-like mentality to think that we have to, we must vote a certain way because we are a certain kind of people. I think it's fascinating that you say that the Southern Democrats are all Republican, because most of the Southern Democrats all of them who voted against the Civil Rights Act, how many of them actually flipped to Democrat? We referenced Strom Thurmond. we can go back to history, but talking
Joe Biden. I mean, there's a good amount of them that
right,
switched.
but like over time, not many of them died Democrats, right? So
Just look at the map. You know,
Can I also ask specifically just a question for you as a Catholic girl to Catholic? I think we're the only Catholics here. What for you, what has the Democrat Party, especially now today, where they stand with abortion for any reason through all 9 months, abortion on demand for any reason. And the Democrat Party is just notorious for giving Black people false promises. Well, if you vote for us, we're going to give you this, and we're not seeing it. I think that the Black community we're not only divided between colors, like people that are different colors of us, but we're also divided between each other, right? I, as a Black conservative, somebody who puts themselves out there online, I receive way more racism from fellow Black women and men than I do from white people. And it's always, oh, well, it's the white people who are messing everything up for us. They're the ones that are the racists. But as soon as I come along and I'm just a little bit different than I guess your average Black woman, because they put us in a box, like we all don't like that. We all agree that that's not okay. They see me and they're like, well, she's Uncle Tom and she doesn't belong in our group. And, you know, we don't. Yeah, exactly. And so with that, what has the Democrat Party today truly done for you? I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to step on the question, but I would ask the same question of the Republican Party. Like to me, in this climate, now that we're a full year in, I don't understand how you can stand behind that man under any circumstances.
I think it's important that we don't focus on one person. And I think
so don't focus on the president?
No,
of the United States of America.
That's not what
we're talking about the party as a whole right now.
If you are Black and queer, you're also part of the Black community. And if you're mistreating someone in the queer community that is also Black, then they have to, like, the Democratic Party takes more care of queer people than the Republican Party.
But for Black people, what is the Democrat Party?
They gave us our first Black president.
Correct.
Mixed president. No,
what do you mean mixed? So she's not Black?
I'm just.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Here we go with this shit.
True. So the Democrat Party. So because Obama decided to run, and he actually was way different type of Democrat, I would say, than what we have today.
Well, I would say that the Conservative Party is rooted in more like morality, goodness for Black people. It tells you to work hard. It tells you that you're not a victim. It tells you that you can do things rather than telling you that you're a perpetual victim and that you need some system to control your life and to make a difference in your life. And it's just not true. If you just look at the Black community, the Democratic Party has ruined the Black community. It has.
Who the hell talking about George Washington? I've never said George Washington. What the fuck are you talking about?
Literally neutralize the Black community to the point where your vote is not even going to matter as much because of all the mass migration that these illegal immigrants that benefit off of things that should be going to the Black community. They should be helping actual Americans rather than helping people that are not citizens of this country, people who broke the law to.
Old point, but you aren't Black if you don't vote for me. Coming from the man that authored and sponsored the 3 strikes. Well, I'm in agreement with you. What are you talking about? I'm in agreement with you. I don't agree with that shit. I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't vote for Biden at all. So I think you got me misconstrued. I wasn't talking about that at all. I ain't no Democrat.
Come into this country and you guys support it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm also kind of taking a backseat, I guess, in this part, just because I fundamentally just don't like the 2-party system, and it developed at a time when Black people were like a labor force as slaves. So I just don't think that something that evolved then could all be.
We can bring it back to the question of.
Well, no, I'll get to your point, but I don't think that this can be like fundamentally useful because we're talking about something that's evil. So I just don't I don't know. We're like fighting to make a broken system work for us. And
which is a fair point.
But this is where we're at. So we kind of have to work with what we have.
We do have to work with what we have.
have.
Intention and results both need to be taken into consideration. And I think that one thing I felt from the other side is that there is a bit of not wanting to think about intention as much. And I do think that intention is where policy is going to come out of. So I do think it's important that we have that like an emphasis on that conversation, which is what makes your side not make as much sense to me, because the intentions don't feel pure. So if that's, we can do, yeah, okay, whatever. We can talk about the specifics of policies and how that's planned out, but what's going to be coming down the line if the intentions are not in a good place?
How do you know that the Democrats have good intention and
I'm
they're
not
not just
saying
trying
that
to win your
I don't
vote?
think anybody has a good intention.
So I'm an
That's
independent
my-
conservative. We do exist. I don't think of conservatism as a party. Conservatism is a set of values that influence your decisions moving forward. I voted for Democrats. I voted for Republicans. I don't have a specific side. And some people here may know that I do not have a problem calling out either on their any ill intentions or ill results that happen as a result of what may have been good intentions. What I see consistently happen on the Democratic side is things are proposed with good intentions or what may be perceived to be good intentions. But what actually results in the long run from those decisions, i.e. welfare, supplemental programs, things like that, is that it ends up negatively impacting the Black community in a very significant way. And so the level of dependency that comes from these programs, and then it ends up influencing your vote.
What are you
now,
measuring
I don't,
that on? I'm sorry, I just want to know when you say dependency, what are you measuring that on? And how do you
the
know?
amount that, so would you say that what you get your food from and what helps you support your family would influence your vote? Would you not vote for the people that give you those things?
Yeah, the people that people are going to vote for their personal interests.
So if,
And I wouldn't see that as being the Republican Party.
So what I'm saying is that when I'm not either side. So when it comes to the Democrat Party, what I see is that those things are what are.
Yeah, in the Southern strategy, basically, the Republicans, they pretty much were doing what they were doing now. They focused on state rights. The Republican Party and what you're talking about, Frank.
Used when it comes to how they want to gain your vote and your influence. Instead of paying attention to everything that goes on outside of it, they know that if they advertise toward those things, they can pander to your weaknesses in life.
So offering a
You
form
think
of
they're
help.
bribing us?
So I don't consider a form of help to be a bribe. I think that creating a system that revolves around your reliance and your dependence and doesn't give you an avenue out of it is a form of keeping you imprisoned to a system that makes it so that your vote is always guaranteed.
The people that need those government systems to feed themselves and their children, what are they supposed to do?
So I don't have a problem with government systems existing. I do think that there needs to be an audit of those systems in order to filter out fraud.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fraud. It's not necessarily doing away with the government system, but it's a lot of motherfuckers that's doing fraud under that shit. Hence, Minnesota. Hence Minnesota. They get into a bag over there. They get into a big old bag. That's why there's a big ass situation going on now. That's why there's a big situation going on now.
And I also do think
fraud, waste, and abuse, homie. Fraud, waste, and abuse.
We need to make it so it is an
Yeah, she
avenue
does. I like her.
toward working.
I feel safe around.
Yeah, her thing is called Black Card Decline. That's her tag on her social media. Black Card Decline. Yeah, she's pretty dope. I rock with her. I like her. I like her, man. I like her. I like what they're talking about. I like what they're talking about. I like what they're talking about. She said, "Hey, Minnesota in the chat, can't stand it here. Too many morons." Facts. Facts. But hey, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Since y'all said that it echoed, man, I don't know if I should play it again. I don't know if I should play the that little ad again, because I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like when it does that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I read these comments though. Listen, man, make sure y'all tap into the super chats too. Like I said, the chat, y'all are important and y'all help me to continue to keep growing. So definitely support the channel, support the channel, support the channel. All right, the Black Gen X opinions without proof or of truth and no factual scholarship becomes babble. Yup, I hear you, bro. I hear you, dog. I hear you. So let's go ahead and move over to this next. Let's go ahead and move over to this next topic of today. I'm gonna play this other clip just to be on the safe side. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see. But we're gonna go to this next topic. We're gonna talk about Money now. We gonna get into the money part of the segment of the live stream. You know, we gotta talk about the money. So we're gonna talk about this investment. We're gonna talk about how this one lady, I call her a woman, how I bought 20. She says how I bought 22 rental units in 18 months with only $6,000. What? I need to know how she did that and what was the situation. Black card declined. Black card declined. So let's go ahead and get into this topic. Let's talk about this money and let's see what she's talking about. Making 22 rentals, $6,000 with $6,000. So let's go ahead. Let's lock in.
My business partner and I bought 22 rental units in only 18 months, and it only cost us $6,192. In today's video, I'm gonna explain exactly how we did it, so you can do the same if you want. And just so you can see, here's a 6-unit apartment building I own. This is a 5-unit apartment building I own. And here's a 4-unit apartment building I own, and I have a couple more properties. But with that being said, let's dive into how we were able to acquire these with barely any money. And wait 1 second, there is a quick side note I do want you guys to be aware of. Me and my business partner own this 50-50. There is no other investors involved. We did not do any syndications. It's literally just me and him that own these 22 units. But with that being said, now that you guys are aware of that, let's get into diving deep on these properties. So number one, I'm gonna break down to you property by property, how we did everything. So you're gonna be able to see how we found the deal, how we paid for the deal, and how we were able to build our portfolio so fast. So let's start off with the very first property we actually purchased. And this was a 2-unit property. We actually got this property from pulling a list, an absentee owner list from PropStream. And what an absentee owner list is basically where an owner owns a property but doesn't actually live there. They're absentee. So this could be a tired landlord. This could be a property that someone just have forgotten about. You never know the case. But we pulled a tired landlord list from PropStream. And what PropStream is basically a platform and is great for investors and agents to find property owner information. And after we got this list from PropStream, we took the list and we added it to directskip.com. And that platform, it basically allows you to upload lists to get all the contact information from each in particular owner. And after we were able to get their contact information, we took it from directskip.com and put it over to Batch Dialer, which is a dialing system. So you can put the list in there and it will automatically dial for you without you pressing any buttons. And once we put that list in there, we actually hired a cold caller to call that list, and she called it and got this lead. After we heard about the lead, we were like, yes, we definitely got to schedule that appointment. And we scheduled it, and my business partner went on the appointment. And after he went on that appointment, he was telling me about the property. And I was like, why don't we just keep it? And we agreed on keeping the property. So us and the seller, we were in some negotiations, but we came to the price of $82,500 to purchase this 2-unit property.
Damn.
And guys, for this deal, we were able to get
where you getting the property for $82,000.
100% financing, so 100% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab, plus some of our closing costs as well. So this was truly a blessing. And you guys can definitely get this as well. So this isn't just something that happened to us. If you build solid relationships with private money lenders, this can also happen to you. So just be aware of that. For us to actually truly buy this property, our closing costs to purchase came to $520.24 for a 2-unit. Isn't that crazy? And just so you know, the amount of rehab we added for this property was $15,000. And after we repaired and rehabbed the property appraised for $160,000. Now, literally 17 days after we got that 2-unit property, we bought a 5-unit apartment building, a commercial building, which is insane. And the way we were able to get this deal was basically the same way we got our first deal, but instead of calling this list, we text the list. And the seller texts us back, basically saying 165, tired landlord price. And sellers don't ever typically say that. Usually that's what wholesalers or investors use when they say tired landlord. So I was thinking that this seller was kind of like scamming us or, you know, not being legit in regards to the sale of this property. But guys, turns out he was legit. $165,000 for a 5-unit. He was ready to sell. So what we did was schedule that appointment, and I went on the appointment. I walked all the units, met with the tenants, and figured out that this seller was not playing around. He truly just wanted $165,000 and wanted to be done with the property. He was self-managing it and just older in age and didn't want to deal with it anymore. So literally after that appointment, I talked to my business partner, and we also talked with our mentor since this was our first commercial property at the time. And if you guys know, commercial property and residential property are completely different when it comes to analyzing it. So after we spoke with our mentor, he was like, this is a home run. You guys better lock this up right now. So later that night, I called up the seller and we agreed on that $165,000 price. And the next day we met at the property, got the papers signed, and was all squared away. So it's crazy because we bought a 5-unit apartment building right beside the hospital for $165,000. And for us to truly purchase this property, it cost us $212.23. What? And this was due to us also getting 100% financing for this property as well. And the amount of rehab we put into this one was a little over $65,000. And guys, you will not believe
That sound like no real profit. I ain't gonna hold you. That sound like no real profit, but hella expenses. Man.
What it appraised for? It appraised for $650,000. So this was definitely a home run. Now this next property I'm about to tell you about, we actually weren't supposed to keep it. We were gonna fix it up and put it back on the market. But after we started fixing it up and once we did put it back on the market, we realized that this was a runner's market and not a buyer's market. We just didn't realize that from the jump. So this property is a single family. It consists of 5 bedrooms and 1 bath. And the way we were able to get this deal was we pulled a pre-foreclosure list from PropStream, and we did the same process where we took that list, put it to directskiptracing.com, got the property owner's phone number, and we took that list to Batch Dialer and was able to call that list through. And our caller was able to get this lead. And it turns out the lead actually knew who I was from going to the real estate local meetups in our area. So we were able to have that rapport right there, which was good. But after our caller got that lead, we scheduled that appointment, and me and my partner went on that appointment, walked through the property, realized that it needed a good amount of work, and we were running numbers and stuff, and the seller wanted a super high price. And we basically told him, like, it just doesn't make sense on our end. And we sat down with him literally at the property, running through numbers, showing him the MLS, showing him what other properties are selling for within that area. And then we finally agreed on the price of $60,000 for this single family property. And yes, with this one, we did get 100% financing. For us to truly purchase this with our closing costs, it came to $0. And the funny thing is, we actually walked away with the check at the closing table and made $6,159.80. And I have the HUDs to prove it all, so you guys know I'm not playing around. So with this property in general, we purchased it for $60,000. We put $30,000 worth of rehab into it, and the property appraised for $145,000. Now, the next property we bought was another 2-unit property. And we actually got this same property the same way we got our 5-unit property. So we pulled an absentee owner list from PropStream as well, did everything, but instead of calling this, we also texted this list, and we got someone that wanted to sell, and it was this 2-unit property owner. We came to the property. I actually went with my contractors, and we just walked through it, you know, had a really good conversation with the seller. He told us the price that he was looking for, and we were able to come to the conclusion of the purchase price of $78,000. Now with this one, we did get 100% financing as well. So for us to truly purchase this property, you know, with our closing costs and everything, it came to $0. We actually walked away with the check as well for $181.71. But guys, isn't that crazy? Like buying a 2-unit property for only $100, like that's insane. Like you can save, you know, yourself from going to Starbucks a whole month and buy this house. Maybe not a whole month, maybe 2 months or so. But still, you could save that money as fast as possible and buy a 2-unit.
But you got to think about the work that comes with that shit, though. You got to think about the work that comes with that, because you just ain't gonna find no property right out the gate like that. I used to use PropStream. I used to do wholesaling. That shit ain't as easy as they making it seem. Ooh, buddy.
But make sure you stay till the end, because
it is possible though. I did make some sales in wholesaling, so it is possible. But you're gonna have to get your way. You're gonna have to get them the elbows moving. You're gonna have to make some calls. You're gonna be calling like a mother. You hear me? And the FICO score to be able to get this Friday is 580. Yeah, that's facts.
I'm gonna explain my thoughts on this strategy.
Well, it depends. Well, that also depends on how. Well, yeah, if you're doing finance, yes, absolutely. If you're doing finance, yes. But if you're buying cash on the back end, then no. Yeah, that's true. You only need 580. Yep, that's facts.
Of us purchasing so fast, so stay tuned. But getting back to it, so we purchased the property for $78,000. We put $25,000 worth of rehab into it, and the property appraised for $186,000. Now, the next property we bought was the 4-unit apartment building, and this is by far the best property we bought in regards to location-wise. But with this deal, we were able to get it from actually doing the same thing we did previously. So if it's working constantly, why switch it up? So what we did was, we got this absentee owner list from PropStream, then we put it into directskiptracing.com, and then back into Batch Dialer for our cold caller to cold call. And she was able to get this lead. My business partner went on the appointment, and the seller at this time wanted a higher price, close to the $250,000 number. But me and my partner, we discussed numbers and everything. With this property being fully occupied with tenants and the rents being really low, we decided that for us to be able to make it work, we were around the low 200s. But with us going back and forth with the seller was not having it with the price that we were seeking for. And we came to the conclusion to purchase the property at $215,000. So with this one, we also got 100% financing. The price of what he was looking for. The way we added a little bit more with that, but guys, this one took a lot longer than expected, but we were able to agree upon the price of $160,000. We didn't really have any major rehab we were going to do to the property. We did just want to paint. So we actually decided to come out of pocket with the painting cost. So we only got financing for the purchase price, which was $160,000. So with this, for us to truly buy the property, it was a lot more expected. And it's crazy because it costs way more than any of the other properties cost all combined. So the cost for us to purchase this 2-unit property came to $11,913.76. Now, it kind of blows my mind that this 2-unit property costs way more than our 5-unit and our 6-unit apartment building. But that is how we were able to acquire 22 units in only 18 months for only $6,192. And if you count all the refinances we done and the money we cashed out, we really bought all these units for $0. Now, I do want to say scaling this fast and, saying that we own 22 units in 18 months sounds amazing. And it looks amazing on social media, but I don't know if that's the way you want to think. And if you are thinking about scaling this fast and acquiring units, I recommend you check out this video right here of me breaking down why I regret buying these about 22.
Yeah, I remember her doing that video. I think I actually did a video on that one, on that video that she was talking about in regards to her purchasing all those properties, right? And to be honest with you, she's not making a lot from those properties either, because you still got the expenses. You still got expenses at the end of the day. It sounds good you buying 6,000, but you still got to get tenants in there. You still got to make money from the properties. And then on top of that, she don't have a job. Based off of that video, she might got one now, but she didn't have a job. So she was literally living off the money that she was making from those properties, which wasn't a lot. And then on top of that, she had to split it down the middle with her partner. Wasn't making no money for real. wasn't making no money for real. So yeah, it's dope. Again, she's right though. It sounds good to, you know, do it quick. You bought 22 properties in 18 months. That's dope. You know, that's great for conversation. You know, that's a great conversation starter. Like, damn, 22 properties, how you do that? But then you start to dive in deep and you start to get to the nuts and bolts and you peel them layers back, you're like, ooh, shit. I have to take my time with that. That sounds like a lot. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Can't do it. Can't do it. You hear me?
My business partner and I
can't do it. But listen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. The Patreon is in the description as well as pinned in the comments. If you want to link with some people that are building and growing together, become part of the Earn Circle. All right? And also make sure you tap into the super chats as well to support the channel. The chats, lives matter. You feel me? All right. So I want to go over to DSR team long 30 term. Yeah. Oh, that's what you got? Would you recommend this process for a new investor for a multi-unit? I would say yes. I would recommend doing a multi-unit. As your first purchase, I would recommend doing it. That's just me though. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm none of that. But just my personal, what I would do, yes, I would invest in a multi-unit. I would try my best. Me personally, I would attempt, depending on the situation though, because if I have the cash, then yes, I would try to do it. I would try to do it. I'll try to put much down on it as I can. But if anything, I would try to do seller finance. I would try to go to seller finance. I wouldn't try to pay nothing. And I just have those terms. Come to terms with the landlord, seller finance, and tell them I'll pay them a little bit more interest on the top from what is already cash flowing based off of how the property is already cash flowing though. So you have to be careful. You have to pay attention to that. If it's already cash flowing good and all you're doing is just taking over, shit, hell yeah. If it's cash flowing really good, oh, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's bust a seller finance open. And I pay you over the course of time, and I'll throw some interest on top of it. You know what I'm saying? We good to go. We good to go. So
City, and let's
I want to dive into this last topic of tonight. We're still talking about the money. What else, Spaces? What's good with you, big dog? How you feeling? So I want to get into this. I want to get into this last topic, and y'all know I love Cody Sanchez, man. She's dope. She is dope. I love the way she talks about the business and how we overlook businesses on an everyday basis, right? And so she taps into that. She's found her market. She's found her niche in that. And so she's going to talk about the boring businesses that we always overlook. So we're going to dive into that, and then I give my thoughts and opinions. All right. So that's where I got.
Either one of you, and they're like, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I'm a roofer. You're kind of like, huh, okay. That's not the sexiest thing to attract a mate. So people stay out of these industries. What's fascinating is you have more plumbers making $100,000 a year than podcasters making $100,000 a year. Although a podcast sounds sexier, right? And so if you actually are optimizing for profit, you should go to the industries where more people on average have higher earning. And it's really easy to tell. But instead, I think we're kind of told to chase mimetic desire, you know, what our neighbors have, what other people have, what we think would attract a mate, as opposed to going to where the profit is. So in my mind, I'm like, you got 5. You know, if you want to go buy a business right now or start a business right now in 2026, it's very easy to see where. Home services. So cleaning, roofing, tiling, anything that has to do with your home. Second, professional services. So that would be like accounting. That might be actually podcast editing, podcast production. The third, I really like anything that has to do with the aging populace. So senior care centers, really, really big, because you just see this demand explode. Anything that has to do with like You don't want to, it's hard to go and practices where you have to have a doctor to have the certificates and licenses, but there's a lot of people that need home care or physical therapy. Those practices are super interesting to buy. So none of these are sexy, but they make a ton of cash.
And if you're a young person, how many of those industries do you feel like require a college degree? I'm generally curious for your perspective on right now, how important is it for people to go and get an official college degree, or would you recommend trade school? Just generally, how do you think young people should view that?
Yeah, well, I mean, none of the businesses that we own in our main portfolio, 20 plus of them, would require you to get a college degree. And of those businesses that we own, I mean, every CEO of those businesses, they're making millions of dollars a year. You know, we own one of the largest painting and home services franchise companies in the country. It's called Resi Brands. And we have 171 franchisees and something like 700 locations, but they aren't all open yet. Those people are making hundreds of thousands. Many of them are making millions of dollars a year without college degrees. So I think actually it's not necessary. The best business school is to be in business, in my opinion, except if you want to climb the social hierarchy, then it might be really important if you could get into an MIT, a Stanford, a Harvard, or something like that. I don't think there's ever a reason not to go to the top 10. Those are really, really socially powerful. You'll have a lot of social capital, and you guys know that. But if it's going to be that you go to, you know, a state school and you don't get it paid for by the government and you have to go into student debt for it, the math seems to check that it actually doesn't make a lot of sense these days. I mean, you see university costs have 3 to 4x just in my generation. So 3 to 4x. Simultaneously, the amount of money college graduates makes has decreased. So of course we're all a little bit mad because a lot of people who went to general universities, not the tippy top, they're paying more and making less. And so that math just won't shake out for very long, especially when the government is subsidizing most universities and they have endowments that, you know, they've become hedge funds. They're not actually colleges anymore. They're not places for education. And so I think it's a real tragedy. And if you're young, you can't do much about what's happening with the government, but you can go get a job that makes you hundreds of thousands of dollars as opposed to takes you hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
And do you regret getting your degree, or are you happy you did it?
Well, mine was free. So
just to kind of break that down a little further as well. You don't if you're not going to college, of course, I mean, this is talking about if you have to go into debt to go to college. If you're not going into STEM, lawyer, doctor, anything like that, you don't need to be going to college. You don't need to, because you're going to be putting yourself in debt and you're going to be paying your debt. You're going to be paying your student loans for 20 plus years. That's basically what she's saying. Now, also, when you talk about the business aspect of it in these small businesses, these are the businesses that you drive by every day. And she kind of mentioned that too. She kind of hit on that. And also as well, you think about window cleaners. You know, when you're think about parking lot services, you know how you see those guys that, you know, you see the ones who clean up the lines, they paint the lines and shit when the shit start to fade away in the parking lots. Those guys, you can create a job for that. You can think about junk removal jobs. Think about car washing jobs. Think about pressure washing jobs. Think about think about the business cleaning services. When you see those people when you're at work, when you're working in corporate, the people that's walking around cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning out the trash cans, wiping shit down, wiping desks down, that's a whole business in itself. Those are the born businesses. Somebody owns those businesses, right? Or laundromats or car washes, places like that. Those are the businesses that people overlook that you can actually get into even when you're working a 9-to-5 job. You don't need to be making 6 figures. You don't need to have millions of dollars in the bank. You can actually use what I talked about when we were talking about real estate, is you can use seller financing too, right? So these are the owners who are tired. You know, they may have somebody that they don't know who to pass this business down to, or they're just fed up. They just fed up with it. You know, they're ready to retire. They're ready to go kick their feet up, go drink some alcohol on the beach, whatever the case, travel, whatever that case may be, right? So you can sit there and have a conversation with these people and really get down to the nuts and bolts and figure out if they're actually trying to sell that property. Now, to dive deeper in regards to how to get that and how to, you know, figure out if this person is actually trying to sell, and figuring out, you know, the P&Ls and looking at the reports and seeing if they're actually making a lot of revenue, and if there's a profit, and if they're actually a profitable company, you know, that's something that you can dive deeper into. But just on the surface level of it, going into these businesses, talking to the owners, asking how long they've been in business. But one rule of thumb, though, you have to make sure that that business has been up at least minimum 6 years. Minimum 6 years. Has been operating for minimum 6 years. You know, of course, the more the merrier, but minimum 6 years, 6 to 7 years or so. So that's a rule of thumb. Yes, you can use SBA loans, you can use seller financing, and you can use cashback. You can use cashback loans. It's cashback loan. Yeah, cash flow back loans. I'm sorry, cash flow back loans. So you can use those three. Those are 3 things that you actually can use. And so yes, you can still have your 9 to 5. You can still work that. You can still have that business and still work your job, because I'm one big person. I recommend don't leave your job just yet until that money is actually exceeding two to 3 times more than what you're making at your job. Then it's like, all right, I can leave now, because I can comfortably leave and understand that the money that I'm making over here at this business, it exceeds what I was making at my job 2 to 3 times over. So we good over here. So now we can move on. So now we can operate on this business. Then if you want to, you can go buy another one. But here's the key. Here's the key as well, though. Now, I don't know what Cody thinks about this, and I hope she sees this video actually, and then she can just kind of give me some more insight on this. But what I would also say too, pay attention if they already got workers there too. So that way you don't have to worry about going to hire more people. You already got workers there, and so you already see the expenses and the profit that you make. So okay, so we're straight here. So I'm coming into some money already. I'm coming into a spot where I'm already making money. And then if you're doing seller finance, all you have to do is create that. All you have to do is just create those terms with that person that you're buying the business from. Say, hey, listen, big dog, they're gonna want 2x. They're gonna want 2 to 3x the profit, right? The profit that they're making, 2 to 3x revenue. I'm sorry, 2 to 3x revenue. So let's just say they're making $1,000. Let's just say they're making $100,000, right? And so they're probably gonna want to set a 2 to 3x. So that'd be 2,000. That'd be 200,000 or 300,000, right? So you sell it for 200,000. Like, all right, bro, we'll sell this property. Like, we'll offer you 200,000 for this, but then we'll throw a little bit on top of interest, and then we'll pay you this amount every month over the course of 5 years or so until we reach that amount. Sounds good. And then if they agree with it, you good. You in there. You in there. You in there.
I went to a state school, Arizona State University, Harvard the last, really.
Oh, they got a new one?
More partying there probably than anything else. I was part of a sorority. I kind of messed around a lot when I was young. It wasn't that serious. But it was free. And so that was amazing. And I applied for, grants, and I got into the honors college, and that's fine. And I was kind of like a young idiot. I didn't know what I was doing at that point, which I think college serves a purpose for that. But not knowing what you're doing shouldn't cost you $200,000 over 4 years. That's crazy. And then I went to Georgetown, but that was also free. My company at the time paid for it. So I did an executive program later on in life, which was great. But when I tell you that, like, young people today, what will they tell you? They'll tell you, go to university. And they'll also say, listen, it's not for what you're going to learn, right? What do they tell you it's for?
The network.
The network.
Yep.
Okay, let's play that
It's
out.
a lie. It's a
You go
lie.
to Georgetown for your executive program. That's a good school. Everybody else there also doesn't know what they're doing. Everybody else there also is looking for a job. The network is a bunch of other people who are exactly where you are. How is that going to help you? Wouldn't you progress better by going and working at a startup, going around other people who are already really successful, trying to climb the ladder that way, or even joining entrepreneurial groups instead, where some people somewhere have it figured out? And so, there's not a single person that's helped me get a job from Georgetown that I went to. I didn't employ any of them. I kind of keep in touch with a few of them, but like the network, I don't know. And so I think we should just at least push back on it. And if you got cash and it makes you happy and it's not going to put you massively in debt, go do it. And don't feel bad for it. But you know, if you're doing it because you think it's going to push you ahead in society, let's just check and see if that's true.
I do think that
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
some of the top ones, I would agree with that, except for the tippy top ones, because I'm be honest, like Stanford Business School, people don't usually go there like right out of college. Like they'll go have an entire career and then exactly it gets paid for, and it's really just 2 years to mess around, have some fun, and literally just meet people. I feel like that's one of the only ones that I've seen be advantageous, but I really don't think it's the courses. I completely agree it's the network. Do you think we'll see a rise in people going into like trade schools and such?
I mean, we're already seeing it. So, one, I think it's good that you said exactly what you said too, which is we shouldn't be elitist and say like, you don't need college, don't worry about it all. That can pull people out of a total different social stratosphere and economic stratosphere. Plus, you get to learn the language. I mean, to really like dumb it down and say it sort of in a crass way, rich people speak differently.
Thanks.
You know, I remember when I was growing up.
Listen, that's something that that's also something I'm learning, and I'm being a student. I am being a student of the game and understanding the way that money talks. I get it. I know a lot of people talk about, man, let's go hustle, let's go get to this money, dog. Hey, you got to know the money language too. You got to know how to talk that money language too. If you want to be in these rooms, in those spaces, one thing that I found out and that I learned is that there's a lingo that rich people have. And once you learn this lingo, you've tapped into a gateway that then taps you into more money. What's good, ABJ? You then will open the floodgates of how these motherfuckers is actually out here making money for real, for real. And you're going to be able to speak the lingo, because that's how a lot of them get over. That's how they start to make a lot of money, because a lot of people don't know the financial lingo. So they're saying all of these different terms. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? He sound like he or she sound like they know what the fuck they talking about. So I'm going to put my trust in them, and boom, they making bread. So yeah, we definitely paying attention. We definitely learning and studying. We're being a sponge, and we're just growing and learning and building. That's all we're doing, bro. Yep, facts. Your network is your net worth. And networking with the right people. Networking with the right people that are in a position where you want to be. Networking with people in the position that where you want to be. Getting in those circles, understanding their language. Not asking them, hey man, can you help me out? Nah, bro. Learn the language that they're talking. Guess what? Once you learn that language, it's going to be easier to get in. You ain't got to ask for help. Be hungry, remain a sponge, and learn the lingo. Because I'll be honest with you, one of my goals in the next year to 3 years, I plan to buy. My goal is to purchase my first, I'm gonna call it a boring business. My plan is to purchase my first boring business. I don't know which boring business it's gonna be. I have to do a little bit more research in regards to what's out here in Arizona. I know laundromats are a good thing. I know window cleaning, pressure washing, junk removal, things like that. It's pretty good out here. Landscaping as well. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more research, but I plan to and listen, I'm not talking about start my own business. Purchase a business that's already thriving, they're already profiting, they already have a business, that everything is in line. All I have to do is just we're gonna go to where we need to do. We sign the rights over to me, and that's it. That's what we talking about. And we just swap, boom, put me in the business. Now I'm the owner of the business, and it's already operating. Nothing changes unless I make certain changes. So, just updating certain things that were old. Just out with the old, in with the new. But already got employees in place. Everything is already operational. There's already profit in the business. That's what I'm focused on, bro. Because when I figured out that you can actually do that, and you could purchase these businesses. And you start to understand the back end of things. Hey, dog. I was like, hey, we got some here. Now imagine the fact that I'll be working a 9 to 5, owning the business and doing my YouTube, bro. We finna be going crazy. I'm about 2.5 hours from you. 2.5 hours.
Somebody would say, yeah, well, we're summering in. And I was like, where do we summer? What happens in the summer? Is that something different? Or in New York, they might say, well, we're going to go out east. And, I was talking with Vivian too yesterday, a friend of mine, and she's like, east where? Like what side of town? They're like, no, that means the Hamptons. So there is actual real value to being able to talk like the wealthy, and there is a different language. And once you can get into those circles, I don't think it's always elitist. It's just a trust factor. So, you speak the same language. You guys went to Stanford. There's probably like, you might say, oh, well, at the Rosemont or whatever that one hotel is called, we always went there. Or, I met all these friends. Or remember you were part of this business fraternity, weren't you? Most of business and money is a trust trade, right? And so you're in the club, and that's a real value. So I think it's important we say that. But if you're going to go to Chico State and it's going to cost you $50,000, that's maybe not a good trade. And it was fascinating as the data here kind of supports this. So I was looking the other day.
For sure.
90% of Gen Z, yeah. 90% of Gen Z, they are interested in trade schools. They actually want to go and look at blue-collar jobs. They're interested in going to trade school. The problem is only 5% of their parents are open to that, because the American dream was this idea of like, hey, I owned a series of laundromats, but I never want Sophia to ever have to step foot inside of that moldy, sweaty place again, right? Even though you owning a laundromat, learning how to grow that laundromat, adding technology to that laundromat, then expanding, putting brand on that laundromat, maybe doing some sort of distribution deal on it, and then selling it is actually how real wealth is made. And so, I think we need to push back on the thing that, like, my parents is, my dad was an immigrant. He would have never wanted me to go work in marble and stone like he did. He didn't go to college. He had, he just.
I'm gonna jump up a little bit, y'all.
One of them came out, and it kind of like went on my social in a bigger way. And that must have pissed him off. And he was another managing director. And he wrote me an email that I keep to this day that said, I hope you gained some followers today because you have dumbed down our company. And I was like, this motherfucker. And I just remembered thinking, he was really close with the CEO. And I remember going to the CEO about it because I worked for him directly. And this is a big company. And he was like, well, he was just drunk and he didn't mean anything by it and whatever. Finance is a fucked up culture. And I remember thinking, I don't ever want to work somewhere where I have to play small because it offends other people's egos. I'm out. And so that was my fuck you thermometer, that I went for a walk with my the CEO at the time, who I actually really like the CEO. His name's Jim, but him and I went for a walk, and he said, listen, he goes, at this company, like, you're on our boat and we're rowing left and you seem to want to row right. And so if you want to go right, you got to get your own boat. And I was really pissed at the time. I'm like, we have $1 billion in assets under management. I built this big company. What do you mean? But it was his chips. So he gets to play them how he wants at the casino.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to leave. And so I left the right way. I set him up correctly and the rest of the business. But I'm really thankful now for, like, whenever you come across those FU thermometers, I actually think it's such a gift, because that gift of me being really pissed off is what finally pushed me over the edge. Otherwise, I probably would have been an employee for somebody else forever.
I'm curious, you talk a lot about, like, your successes investing in these alternative businesses like laundromats and stuff. What's an investment opportunity you missed that you like? Is there any that keeps you up where you're like, oh shit, I should have invested in that, or I should?
Yeah, I'll pause it right there, man. Shout out to Cody, man. Shout out to her. But yeah, I'm dead. Listen, y'all, I'm dead ass serious. 1 to 3 years, I plan to purchase my first business. First boring business. I gotta purchase my first boring business. I don't think, of course, anything that you do is gonna be where, it's gonna be tough, but fuck it. Why not? I rather have to work to get it, and then I end up getting to the place and being in the space where I want to be, versus wishing, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and then damn, man, I know I should have did it, bro. All I had to do with this. Now look at me 5 years later, man, I could have been here by now, instead of just going ahead and do it and pulling the plug and just making it happen, bro. Real talk. So yeah. 1 to 3 years planning to buy my first boring business, and it may be sooner than I think. I'm not gonna hold you. because I'm gonna be doing a lot of research, and understanding what's around me right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Listen, y'all, today was fire. Today was dope. I like it. It was slow motion. We kicked it. We rocked out for a bit. Y'all already know how my Wednesdays are. My Wednesdays are a little shorter than usual, which that's how I like it. We're still in the middle of the week. You know, I just got to make sure that I'm always showing up and kicking it with y'all, man. And I appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy. Make sure y'all, matter of fact, hey, Banter and Barter, we're going to be doing a live stream on Friday. Same time, 7:05 p.m. We're going to be doing one Friday. This is an impromptu because, you know, we got to talk about they want to talk about the whole Anton Daniels and the Corey Holcomb situation and what happened recently. And then some other topics where that we're going to touch on. And then make sure that you're here on Saturday, 3:05 p.m. I'm switching up the times. I don't want to be, it's too late at 9:05 p.m. So I want to move it up to 3:05 p.m. on Saturday. So make sure y'all are here for that day. So, and then so we can come kick it. You feel me? So until next time, my good people, I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all Friday. I'll holler.